but the young people just refused to go and vote. Do you remember that time? IEBC had 3 very strong drives, but the young people in our homes, in our congregations, in the universities across the country, they just decided they were not going to participate. We even pleaded, we did campaigns, we did everything. And they said, they don't see how a president, how it affects their lives. They don't see the connection between what their situations are now and voting. Even for, why should they even vote? Their lives have not changed. Their lives are even becoming worse, especially those who are educated. They had a lot to say, and as NCCK, we engaged a national consultation to find out really why this apathy. And one of the things that they said is that they lack employment. They are so skilled, they are so educated, but their situation is desperate. You have them in your homes, isn't it? They don't even wake up to go and look for a job. They've given up. They've done applications upon applications. They've written letters. They've done everything. They've done 3 internships, still no job. Do you see? That is part of the apathy. But then they also said they did not get someone to facilitate them to go and register. Are we together? Do you understand that language? When they say they did not get someone to facilitate them, they mean they needed to be organized and paid something small for them to, ya miguu, ya kufika kwa polling station, akunywe chai, na akirudi anunue kaapo atembea aki. That is what they said. The young people, we had a national survey just wondering why are these young people not coming out to register? But the third reason they gave, they said that it has already been said that the election is already decided. Si mnakumbuka? Hata moderator amesema. Now we have the inaitwa nini? System and natusha win. So now why should we go out and vote? You know, the young people are wondering. You have already told us that the election is already decided. We do not need to go and register, not to vote. We were pleading with them to go and register first. Then we will come back and plead with them to go out and vote. So we have a long way to go. But the other thing that has happened around this time in our country is that there are highly charged campaigns. Very highly charged. You would actually think we are voting tomorrow. Sindio? Ukiona hizo rallies, in fact, if you watch news, sometimes you can get really depressed. The kind of temperatures, and they are not positive, they are negative. But then we have also seen a lot of coalitions, and negotiations, above, yani, there is no end. Every day we wait, what is new today? So now, for NCCK and the religious leaders, we hold what we call scenario building sessions. We have these professionals who are able to help us see, like, futures. How is this situation likely to be? And one of the things that they have said is that maybe the loser might not accept the outcome. Isn't it? See, we are Kenyans. Now, between Raila and Ruto, who do you think will easily accept they have lost an election? Ningumu, sindio? And as it is right now, both are saying they are winning. Even every opinion poll, depending on who is supporting it, depending on who is funding that opinion poll, it will show that they are winning. Sindio? Sasa you are starting to look at me like, what is she saying? Iko hivyo. Both of those sides have already decided and they have mobilized their supporters that they are on the winning side and they are likely to win this thing. Sindio? That's how they are thinking. But we also see that there could be a petition and a contest. And I don't know whether the BBI ruling has increased our confidence in the Supreme Court. Did it surprise you? Some yes, some no. Yeah, because we are a Kenyan which is divided down through the middle. Some were surprised, some were very happy. In fact, I was in a funeral somewhere, I will not disclose the location, and people were singing. Sio uchawi, ni maombi. You know that song? Immediately, we didn't even need to ask what is the ruling. We knew what the ruling was. But of course, there's another side of life that is also feeling like, hey, how could we lose? Even with all the government, with all the system, with all the deep state, we can lose. But then we are also saying we are very happy with the kind of confidence that Martha Koome, as a woman, has given back to this. Hey, Cindy, that she could stand and even speak against those things very confidently. And did you see as if she was under pressure? She was not. But then, we have a bit of a complicated situation because we have a president who has decided to support the former arch rival, isn't it, against his own deputy president. That situation, we do not know it before, but now we have to live through it. Si tunaishi? Tukiangalia? Itakuwaje hii kitu? So he has made his position very clear. But then, and this is a concern that we have all the time, at what point is he the president, and at what point is he Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, sindio? At what point is the DP the deputy president? At what point is he the leader of Kenya Kwanza? Which one are we dealing with? At what point? It's something that we have to live through, isn't it? But then, we have seen another disturbing situation that shows as if there is likelihood to be violence. It's an indicator. Ile kitu tunasemanga, you know, when our incident monitors give us that local intelligence, they send short messages, and they say, Raila's chopper was stoned in Uasin Gishu. See, we have been watching news. But before then, Ruto's motorcade had been attacked in Kisumu a while back, in Kondele. In fact, the lady is telling me in Kondele. Hapa naona tuko pamoja kabisa. So what does that tell you? We are just looking at the way the things are right now, and we are trying to look in the future. What does that mean to us? Sindio? Another new phenomena for us, and we are studying it, is this thing called zoning. Zoning. You're zoned. This whole zone is painted blue. They've already decided you're going to vote. They have decided. They have zoned. This other zone, they do the maps and they zone and put a color. Which color are they likely to put on this other side? Yellow and green. And this one is blue and red. So then that has brought, at your local levels, I hope you're observing, very heightened competition. Like if you are on this side of Mount Kenya, you see a lot of competition between UDA and Jubilee. And a lot of movements, movements of political aspirants. Today they were this, tomorrow they are this. Now suddenly Mwangi Kiunjuri has become a very important person. Moses Kuria, have you seen? If you're on this other side, the competition is between ODM and DAP and such formations. And at the local level, this is where the competition is being witnessed. The positions of members of county assembly, the positions of member of parliament. Hizi zingine ziko clearer a bit because of the colors, but it's not easy. But then each formation is really hoping they do not lose. They are fearing to lose. So what are they doing? They are protecting their zones. See, they have already zoned. Now in that protecting their zones, they are stopping the other people from coming to ask for votes, isn't it? Si kila mtu auze sera tuchague. But they are being denied that opportunity because we are all fearing to lose. But there is also, we are protecting our strongholds. We want our strongholds to stay locked. Hata nikasikia siku ingine that there are people who can climb the mountain and there are others who cannot. Hata wamepewa boots, wamepewa sport shoes. Nimeona tu vituko. But for us, it says something when something like that happens. But then the other thing that which you have to help us deal with is the growth of militia groups. These vigilante groups. These groups that have new names nowadays. And they are starting to man our estates. They are starting to tax. When you want water, they are starting some things. Have you been seeing them? Ama ni sisi tu tunawaona? Please, if you see such things, it tells you something. And now, before it used to be a national problem. Right now, it's a local problem because you have a local governor who you know their mother, you know their sister, you know their brother, Cindy. And the competitor, you also know their mother, you know where they live, you know these people. And if they start fighting amongst them, what makes you think you're safe? When they start recruiting groups of young people and paying them every month to do some work, that should tell us something. But then in terms of management, the management of elections, IEBC is in the middle of it all. Towards the end of last year, we held a prayer service for the entire commission. Your director was there. She was part of those prayers. And the IEBC has never come over it. They have said in the entire of their life, they have never seen anyone who just calls the entire commission only to pray and not to bash, not to say bad things, not to say you stole our election, you facilitated rigging, you know? So there is space there. They feel very lonely as a commission. And it would be nice for us to pray for them, to support them where we can, when they do the right things. But they themselves, and we have communicated this to them, they do need to improve on the voter confidence. People still are not as confident as they would be. But they have also said they do not have enough money to run the next general elections. So before you project the next slide, I would like you, ladies, in twos, wawili wawili. If that is the landscape that we are talking about, what do you think should be the role of women in securing elections 2022? Just talk to your neighbor. Imagine teacher anakuambia muongee ndani ya darasa. Ebu tuongee. What do you think is the role of women in securing elections 2022 in pairs, tafadhali? Na tutaitisha matokeo. Wamesemaje? What have they said? Can we have some volunteers telling us what their neighbors said? Anyone? You can just raise your hand. I'm a teacher asking questions and I have very good students. Yes? What has she said? One thing. Just say one and you shout. Shout. Pray. It's enough. Just one. Yes? We talk to our children because they're the ones who are being used. Any? Yes, at the back. Kabisa uko. Shout. We can't hear you, madam. Nani anasikia kenya anasema? Just come. Haya, if you can shout, yes, at the very back, the lady. Participate in elective positions. Now she has come. To be a good example, like role models in the society, yes? We need to preach peace. Thank you. Don't support either group openly. That's according to her. I'm trying to look at that corner and this corner, yes. Those three hands there, yes. Shout. Encourage the young generation to vote. Yes, next. Yeah. Please say loudly, my chair lady. educate people on the need for peace during elections. Thank you very much, yes? Convincing. Convincing who? Okay, convincing your children or your family on the importance of voting. There was somebody here. Conflict resolution, be engaged in that. Hatuwezi funga hii mkutano kama hii kona haitasema kitu. Sorry director, but we cannot. Hii kona yote, kuanzia nyuma mpaka mbele, yes? Say no to tribalism. There was another hand. There is more to speak about good about our country. I'm looking that side, please. Somebody save that corner. Say something, please. Oh, I have 3 hands. So I'll give you a chance after this lady, yes? Avoid hate speech, according to that lady, yes? We still need to live in Kenya after the election, yes? Don't demonize a politician, Discourage our youth from entering the militia groups. Are you hearing the voices from the guild? Yes, is that another point? Director, sio mimi nimesema, ni member huko. Sijui yeye ni kiongozi wa wapi, but thank you very much. What about that corner? Mumenyamaza aje? Tukubali matokeo. That's a strong point. Tukubali. Sio rahisi kukubali matokeo, madam, lakini thank you. That's a very strong point. We should accept the results. Yes, and that's the last one. Yes? Sorry? As Christians, not to take sides. And the last one? Very last one, yes, ma'am? Sorry? We preach peace. So thank you for reading through my notes, because the ones that I had put down, the first one was that we need to pray, and don't underestimate the power of prayer. The second one is that we need to mobilize each other to participate in governance processes, tusiachwe nyuma, sindio? We also need to take part in all the electoral processes, that is, before, during, and after the general elections. But then I also put another one, that we should offer ourselves for leadership positions at different levels. Sijui kama kitambaa bado nitakuwa nayo ama nitaitishwa. I am saying we offer ourselves for leadership at different levels. Nani alisema guild hawezi? Si anaweza? Huko kwenye tunatoka, please, when you are asked to be something in the board, usikatae, ukubali, uchukue hiyo leadership position. Hatusemi ya uchaguzi peke yake, hata ile ya board, ya school board, sijui ya nini, ya maji, ya kamati ya mjengo, development, sindio? Then we are also saying, support candidates of your choice. You support candidates of? Nobody should be coerced to support anyone. You should choose the one you want, you. Sindio? But then, we are also asking that we can offer our services in the political party formations as officials, as observers, as agents. Tunafanyanga hivyo. We can do that a little more. And let me say just a small bit about the observers. NCCK, KCCB, and SUPChem, this time round, we would like to place observers almost next to each ballot box, that will have a person of faith. And their only role is to make sure they give accurate record of what has happened in that polling station, because we think our results might be the only other ones that might speak the truth. Hizi zingine zitaongezwa maji, zibaptiziwe, si ndio? Mnajua tupike kidogo. But we are thinking one of the ways to redeem this country is to have a parallel voter tabulation that is not linked to a political formation, and that can help in case there is a disagreement. So I hope when you're called upon, you will avail yourselves to do so. But then we have also said we can offer ourselves to mediate at our local levels. Si mnajua mama wa guild anapeangwa heshima. If we had time, I would narrate to you my journey of becoming a woman's guild member. When I was in class 5, there were women who were collecting clothes to take to some other poor country that had war. And I mobilized my school, and I told them, that lady cannot be misleading us. Let us collect our clothes, our maize and beans, you know the way you do hard grains and unga and all those things. We did as a school. Then we approached that woman's guild member, and we told her, now you come next week on Friday to collect the things we have collected from our school. And she was like, who sent you? He said, no, I just believe in the cause that you're doing. And I was really admiring that lady. So, you know the way you lead services and you're so smartly dressed and you're carrying a handbag and you're speaking so well. You have a lot of following. So if you mediate in a situation, they're likely to listen to you. But then, in that mediation process, I usually add a sentence that we use our motherly instincts to talk to our men to stop the things that they are likely to do that might cause conflict. You know the way you speak to them and show them, it is my son. I speak to you because you are my son. Or I speak to you because you're my daughter. I talk to you because you're my husband. You know, once you bring that thing, there is something that gets to their hearts and they're likely to listen to you. So ladies and gentlemen, we think that we have covered what we were asked by the director to cover. But there is one outstanding thing. And this is something that NCCK, KCCB, and SUPChem would like you to help us to set the agenda for politics in the country. And you don't have to attend any political rally. You only need to do it within your group to set the agenda. And in doing that, so you know political parties are doing their party primaries within the month of April. So we have also decided as the faiths to do what we are calling localized manifestos. You have been given a small piece of paper. That localized manifesto, what it is supposed to do is to help you document the felt needs of your community. Hatusemi ya siasa. Munielewe vizuri hapa. The localized manifestos is to help us package community needs, community felt needs. Then we will use those things that you will come up with in your group. Let's say you're the guild chair lady of, can I use my congregation? So she's the chairperson of the women's guild in our congregation. She will decide next time when they're having a guild meeting, they'll just sit, the few of them that usually meet, and they'll try and document what are the felt needs of my hapo nyumbani. Wachana na Kenya. Kenya iko na wenyewe, si ndio? Shughulikia hapo nyumbani, sawa? So then you follow those steps that we have given there, and it is very simple and straightforward. Once you document that process, we are praying and hoping that we will support you to hold your leaders accountable. So you will call an accountability forum. Let's say you decide that your localized manifesto is for a ward, so it's MCAs. After the political parties have done their primaries, si tutajua candidates watakuwa kina nani? Hatuna haja kuengage watu wenye hawatakuwa kwa ballot. Are we together? We are only going to engage those ones who eventually get a certificate, so we know they are going to be at the election, which means anyone can win at that point, sindio? So we engage all of them in a meeting like this in a church, but when you ask them to come, they don't address you first. You address them first. You tell them, in this community, these are our felt needs, and they are documented in this localized manifesto for this ward. Na ni ile wewe utachagua. Ama nimewachagulia? Have I influenced you in any way? So when you go back, get a small group. It can be of men, women, youth. It can be your congregation. It can be whichever group you decide. because the needs don't change. They are the same. Sindio? But we hope, because we have given you this opportunity as Women's Guild, there will be some women things there. Sio mabarabara tu na karafat. Vitu gani zingine wazee wanawekanga? Mijengo, they forget water, they forget. Or you don't think it's important? Yeah, so please, as you do those manifestos, first think as a woman, what is it? If it was done here in my village, it would cause the greatest change. Are we together? Now, the director will help me to do this, but we are going to reward the 10 best localized manifestos coming from you. 10 best. Out of 10, utaweza kosa kakitu? Out of 10, mutakosa? So we are just asking you, once you do them, channel them through our guild director. She will use her wisdom and her panel to decide which are the 10 best, and we will reward you. Hii ni competition open kabisa. Kila mtu amepata karatasi the same time, si ndio? Tumepata, hatujapata? What do you mean? See, what has happened? Anyone with 2? Anyone with, ndio hizi ziko huku. Tafadhali, patia hii competition ikuwe free and fair. Ikuwe level playing field. So ladies and gentlemen, if you need more help, your director has my contact. We are willing to do this all the way, but we hope that by the end of April, end of April, that we lock the competition so that we award those who we need to award, but then we accompany you to do your accountability forums. We think that's a way to influence how politics is being done without attending a political rally. Or you don't think so? Do you see what we mean? We want to set the agenda for politics in Kenya. So one last thing, which is the very last one, is that we are involved in a campaign for peace. A campaign? We would like to recruit you. Everywhere you go, in any platform you get, say something about peace and why we need peace in this country. So I will now welcome the director of Women's Guild to give a short clip of a sample of that peace message. Are we together? Now, when you hear what she's going to say, you can copy and paste in your mother tongue, and you can say it in your congregation every time you have a platform or in your community meetings. I would like to stop there and thank you so much for inviting me, for welcoming me, and for making me feel at home in this meeting. Thank you so much.
One thing I love about Phyllis, even before I say what she wanted me to say, is that she's really so passionate about wamama kuattend mikutano ecumenical. Sawa sawa? Yeye hutuita, anatuita, natuambia kama mimi sitapatikana, nitafute mtu mwingine, nimpeleke. Phyllis, I love your passion. So let's appreciate Phyllis, maana anatupatianga platform. Yeah? Unajua Mkikuyu anasema, doga ikareha uweshireno mamu anyue we katea. Kuruga wega. Usikae hapo ufikire ni mamako tu anajua kupika vizuri. Because there are other women who knows how to cook. So it's good mtoke huko nje. When I select you to give you an opportunity kwenda a certain training, either AACC, NCCK, WCC, kindly be available. Sawa sawa. Like I have one tulituma, where is that? Akwapi hiyo dada yangu ndio huyo. Tulimtuma kwa mkutano entrepreneurship simama AACC, and she attended a training for a whole week, and we hope it's going to help you plus other people that are around you. We have one of our board members, Lucy. She attended a training here, women mediators, and she's now a trained mediator. Sawa sawa. So tukiwapatia hizo opportunity kindly, sio nyingi, but at least when I am given those opportunities, na mimi napatia wengine. Sawa sawa. So ninaanza sasa. Dakika moja Haya. I want to say this, that on behalf of all the women who have congregated here, the women who are representing all our 5 regions in the Presbyterian Church of East Africa, we want to say that during this time of elections, both pre-election time and after election, that we want to have peace. That we want every person to be at peace, because we know when we do not have peace, the people who are really and seriously affected are the women and children. So as the women of P.C.E.A, Women's Guild Fraternity, we are saying yes to peace and not to violence. Thank you. Itakuwa kwa TV. Why? Aya. Now, time is not on our side. Sawa sawa. Na juu sisi ni viongozi, we want to become good stewards of time. Sawa? So, nataka tuende chai. Dakika 15. Mumesikia? 10? You see, our next speaker is here. Hata naona asema, woi, amewapatia endo wakakunywe chai. Hatujakunywa chai. So 15 minutes only, please. Eh? Because these women watakuangalia na hivi wakisinzia juu ya njaa. 15 minutes only. We take tea quickly. Praise and worship team be here 5 minutes to time so that we can continue with praise team. To end the chai, we have many serving points and then come back immediately. Sawa sawa. Haya, simameni tushukuru kwa kikombe cha chai. You are ready to go. Nawaona. Let's give thanks. Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for the provision of a cup of tea. We receive it with thanksgiving. As we take it, let it nourish our bodies, and as we continue waiting for you to feed our spiritual person. Be with us. For this we pray in Jesus' name. Tengerai, munywe chai henya moke. Please.